The Dallas Mavericks may be forced into an impossible decision. With the season opener in only 3 days, the team is ready to go, gearing up in practice as Luka Doncic and Maxi Kleber are back to action, playing full-on scrimmages, and everyone's ready except for Dante Exum, who will be out for about 3 months after he had surgery on his wrist. But over the course of preseason, we saw a lot of good things from some of the guys, as well as we saw some bad things from some of our other players. And one player's name who's floating around a lot lately has been Spencer Dinwiddie, as he really failed to impress anybody or show exactly what he's going to bring to the Dallas Mavericks over the course of those 4 preseason games. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what are fans saying about Spencer Dinwiddie. Did his play in preseason really warrant fans to be worried? And what can the Dallas Mavericks do if he continues to disappoint? But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we are currently sitting at 13,751 subscribers. We're getting just that much more closer to the goal of 15,000 subs. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, the live streams, the watch-alongs, the news vids, the giveaways, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But, like I said in the intro, Spencer Dinwiddie is a name that's been floating around a lot lately. After preseason, where he really didn't show off much of anything, fans are left skeptic that he can actually replace Dante Exum as our third ball handler. And as we all know, last season, Dante Exum definitely came up clutch in the regular season as our third ball handler, to the point where when he did miss several weeks of action, his presence was missed, as we struggled to win games, although we weren't going on a long losing streak. But not having Dante Exum, or at least not having a reliable third ball handler, was definitely something that the Dallas Mavericks missed. And when he came back, we had amazing moments where he helped us win most games with this clutch shooting and playmaking ability. But then came the playoffs, where he really wasn't a factor. He kind of shrunk during the playoffs, all the way up to the finals, really. But with this new season, with this new roster, Dante Exum has had an entire summer to just rest and recover. He did play in the Olympics as well, so he should have been ready to go. Until he injured his wrist, he had to get surgery, and he's going to be out for 3 months. And with that absence, it all points to reason that Spencer Dinwiddie will replace Dante Exum as our third ball handler. Spencer Dinwiddie has played with the Dallas Mavericks a few years ago before we traded him for Kyrie Irving, and his best basketball was arguably played in the Dallas Mavericks jersey. But with preseason, there really wasn't much to brag about when it came to Spencer Dinwiddie. In my own honest opinion, I don't think we're going to get a lot from Spencer Dinwiddie. I think our expectations need to be lowered, as we don't need him to go out there and score 15 plus points, 5 plus assists, play 30 plus minutes like when he was here prior. I think his role will be a lot more smaller, as just maintain pace, keep what's going while Luka and Kyrie are on the bench resting, and let them get their rest so we don't have to always call them out early to bail us out. We just need you to maintain. And although it was just preseason, it's nothing really to just be worried about. It is something just to take note of. If we take a look right here, Spencer Dinwiddie in the last preseason game in 17 minutes had 8 points, 1 rebound, he had 1 and 1, was 3 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He was a plus 11, and you could say this was arguably his best preseason game. And again, I know it is just preseason, it's not a big sample size, but if you're going to use preseason to really try and gel with the team, get in motion, get in rhythm with everybody, and really just showcase how you fit in with this team, you would think either Spencer Dinwiddie is just not really that good of a player anymore, or maybe he really wasn't trying. And if he wasn't trying, that's a whole nother conversation that needs to be had. But I still believe that Spencer Dinwiddie can turn it around. I think that he'll have great moments in this season. It is a much smaller role than when he was here before, so maybe not that much pressure can help him perform better. Maybe we have enough playmakers. We do have a lot of guards. Obviously, with our starting 5, we have Luka Doncic, we have Kyrie Irving, and off the bench, we have Jaden Hardy, we have Spencer Dinwiddie. When healthy, we'll have Dante Exum, but also Najee Marshall, as well as Quentin Grimes, can also take on some of the point guard duties, as both Najee and Quentin are both good at playmaking, facilitating, bringing the ball down. They don't have to worry about trying to bring it past half court and then losing it like PJ Washington. Hopefully PJ does turn around this year. Maybe we'll see some point PJ this upcoming season. But if we just look at this right here, a lot of fans aren't that sold on Dinwiddie's return just yet. This one user said, Spencer Dinwiddie might be the worst player I've ever seen. Definitely an overreaction and over-exaggeration. Definitely not the worst player. I think we've definitely seen worse. But another user had this to say, saying Spencer Dinwiddie better get ready to flip burgers, brother. All right, I don't think it's that bad. I understand why some fans may be worried, they may be concerned, because we know what we got from Spencer Dinwiddie those many years ago. It was really just like 2 years ago, but we know what Spencer Dinwiddie was when he was on the Dallas Mavericks, playing alongside Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson. He fit in perfectly as our third ball handler. And like I said earlier, last season we had Dante Exum, who did a very good job, albeit he could be better in some areas, but he still did exactly what we needed him to do. And with Dante Exum being injured, Spencer Dinwiddie, it's your time to shine. We could use some of that extra playmaking and just scoring ability, passing ability, that veteran, not just veteran leadership, but just that veteran point guard ability that Spencer Dinwiddie does have. He's been in the league for a while. He knows what he's doing. He spent last year in LA where didn't really look that good. I believe it was just because he was in LA, a team that he's not used to, playing on with LeBron, AD, all those other guys. So maybe it wasn't a good fit. Come back home to mama in Dallas, and you can actually play some good basketball. And of course, preseason, again, it's just preseason. We didn't really get to see a whole lot, but a lot of people are worried. Some people are even saying that he's the new Tim Hardaway Jr. We traded away Tim Hardaway Jr. and just got him back in the form of Spencer Dinwiddie. Now, I don't think it is that serious. I don't think Spencer is that bad of a scorer. I don't think he's that bad of a player. If Spencer can't hit shots, there's still more than he can do. He can still handle the ball. He can still facilitate. He can play make. And now that we have Klay Thompson, Spencer Dinwiddie needs to be able to do that very well for Klay Thompson if we need both of them to help us succeed. We can't have one without the other. But taking a look at this right here, there was an article that came out a few days ago titled, "The Mavericks Spencer Dinwiddie situation is worse than anyone expected." So let's take a look and see what this is all about. Spencer Dinwiddie played worse in preseason than anyone expected. Dinwiddie only averaged 18 minutes throughout the preseason, as no players bear an egregious workload in preseason typically, but his numbers were still really rough given the limited sample size. Throughout the preseason, Dinwiddie averaged 6.3 points on abysmal shooting splits of 29.6%, 27.2%, and 66.7%, and also had a negative assist to turnover ratio. So of course, small sample size is just preseason. We can all agree that he played horrible in preseason. But if we can give him some grace, just like we did with Klay Thompson, that it's just preseason. Let's wait till the season really warms up as guys get used to playing with each other. Maybe they can turn it around. A lot of people say that Klay Thompson doesn't typically start off the season shooting hot from three, and by the middle of the season, he's shooting close to 40% from three on a lot of attempts a night, about 8 or 9 attempts a night. So maybe in the same vein, that's very similar for Spencer Dinwiddie, as he needs time to acclimate to the Dallas Mavericks, the new system. A lot of players are gone from the time he was here last, so it may take him a little bit longer to really feel comfortable with this new system and with this new team. But shooting 29.6% from the floor, 27% from three, and 66% from the free throw line, that's not good. And in preseason, where the games don't matter, you should be able to get your shots off pretty easily. Again, maybe he's bad, maybe he's not trying that hard, but who knows? And the negative assist to turnover ratio isn't something you want to see from your third ball handler, from someone who's supposed to back up Dante Exum, now replacing Dante Exum, and will be backing up Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. But the article does continue, saying it appeared as if Dinwiddie didn't have the same burst to his game that we saw previously in Dallas throughout most of the preseason, as Dinwiddie struggled to get all the way to the rim on drives and lacked a sense of direction as a primary ball handler. While Dinwiddie is known for his ability to get to the free throw line, he was foul baiting far too often during the preseason, most of the time unsuccessfully at that. It seemed like Dinwiddie didn't have the same grip on the Mavericks' offensive system that he did beforehand throughout most of the preseason, as Dinwiddie lacked a diversification of moves and counters as a ball handler in the pick and roll, and he didn't stand out as a playmaker whatsoever. And this article is pretty harsh. It's critical, it's truthful, it's honest, but it is pretty harsh. But I do have to agree, there were moments where Spencer Dinwiddie was trying to attack the basket and the ball was just nowhere near the rim. There was times where he was running a pick and roll with either Daniel Gafford or Derrick Lively, and the pass was almost always a steal. It was almost like he was just playing very sloppy and very lazy. The playmaking wasn't there. The shooting was horrible. He was definitely trying to draw fouls in preseason on almost every drive. He might have been doing a little bit too much. He could be in his head about things. I am on the side of, I want Spencer to do well. I was very excited when we signed him this summer. I know what we had a few years ago. Knowing that he's not that same player, we don't really need him in that same capacity. He does have a much smaller role. So with a smaller role, like Klay Thompson, who's also in a smaller role, you should be able to excel. You should be able to do well. But it seems like there's some form of hiccup or some form of, I don't know what's going on with Spencer Dinwiddie, that led to him just having a horrible preseason that hopefully doesn't bleed into the regular season. But the last thing that we're going to look at right here That was actually everything. So yeah, that's it. With Spencer Dinwiddie playing that bad, the Dallas Mavericks definitely have a tough decision to make. And if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, after the first 5 to 10 games, if I'm not really seeing a lot of good things from Spencer Dinwiddie, you may need to give some of those minutes that were for Dante Exum and give them more to someone like Jaden Hardy, who looked very good during the preseason. Although still rough around the edges with his decision making and his defense, there is a marginal improvement over last season to this season with Jaden Hardy, and if you want to see more growth from him, you may need to give him more minutes. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that Spencer Dinwiddie is the new Tim Hardaway Jr., or do you think it's just preseason, nothing to worry about, come regular season, he'll be fine? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing our giveaway. The winner will be announced next month, the first week of November. The only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. And as always, we are going live for every single game this season. The first game, the season opener, will be this Thursday. Make sure you're there and make sure you drink water. Peace.